Hey, this is Darren from Property Prosperity. If you've been watching my recent videos, you'll know that I just had an open inspection that I invited you along to, that I housed a house that just gone onto the market. So I had the first open yesterday. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on what happened since then. And then secondly, I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on what you didn't to do next. So essentially what your agent's meant to be doing next. And so it gives you a bit of an idea of whether your agent's on the right path or not. So if you watched my last video, you remember what I said was it's basically about getting lots of people to come to your opens. And so I invited you along, you saw my open inspection. I had probably about 60, 70 people came to my open. So that's a big tick as far as what the first job of the agent is to do. The first job of the agent is to market the property really well, which means getting heaps of people to come and look at the house. Because if people don't come and look at the house, then they're probably not going to buy. I saw a few people click on the like button there, and thanks for joining, Susan. I'm glad you came on board. And yeah, like guys, if you like what I have to say, click on the like button. Even if you don't like what I have to say, still click on the like button because I really appreciate it. It helps me share it out too. And obviously, if you know people that have got their property on the market or they're thinking about putting the property on the market, then click on the share button because I'm sure they'll get some real use out of this, particularly if they're trying to work out whether the agent really knows what they're talking about. So like I said, the first thing, get lots of people to come to your open. So I've done a big tick for that because I've got about 70 people come to my opens, which is great. The next thing, once you get them there, the next thing is to get some offers, because the thing is, it's amazing how often I talk to people where they put their property in the market and it's been on the market for a month or two and they've come and talked to me and go, oh man, it's really depressing. I've had my property on the market and hasn't been able to sell it. And I say to them, hey, well, how many offers you had so far? And they're like, I haven't had any offers yet. I'm like, how is that even possible? I'll offer you $100 right now to buy your property. I don't even know what your property is or where your property is, but I'll pay you $100 for it. That's an offer. And really, it sounds stupid, but you've got to get offers. It's like I'm a bit anti-auction, so if you've ever heard me talk before, you know that auctions aren't really my thing. But when you go to an auction, no one wants to be the first person to make a bid. And so you usually have this real weird, awkward situation where the auctioneer says, okay, who wants to put a bid? And that's when they brought in this whole, putting dummy bids and all that sort of stuff, is just to really build the momentum up and get the process started. And so exactly the same thing when you're trying to sell your house, when you're putting it on the market, you've got to get some offers, because that's not going to, until you've got an offer, then people don't really have anything to compete against and there's no sense of urgency. So it's essential the agent is starting to collect offers, and it doesn't matter what the offers are. It doesn't matter if it's $100 or $100,000 or $1 million, they need to get offers. So like I said, I've got about 70 people came there. The next thing I do is I spend the next 3 hours after the open and ring everybody up after that have come to the open. Firstly, obviously trying to get offers, but secondly, it's just try and get some feedback. What did they think about the open? What do they think about the house? What did they like? What they didn't like? They've got a really good idea on where the market's at as well, so they'll give you some really good feedback on how it sits relative to other houses in the area. Also tell me what they think it's worth relative to other houses in the area, whether they think it's overpriced or underpriced. Because what we're trying to do, and what I'm trying to do as a real estate agent, I'm trying to give information back to the owner so they can make an informed decision. At the end of the day, it's not up to me. I'm not selling the property. I'm selling on behalf of the owner. And the owner's really entrusting me to go and collect all the information and pass all the information back to them so they can make an informed decision on whether they should accept that offer or whether they should reject that offer, and whether maybe there's better offers to come. And so unless you get a huge amount of feedback from the people that came along, unless you get a lot of people to come to your open in the first place, but secondly, once you get lots of people, you've got to get lots of feedback. So as much of a hassle it is for me to spend a few hours after the open and ring everybody up, gives me so much more information to be able to pass back to my owner, to be able to give them an idea of where their house sits and what people liked about their house, what they didn't like about the house. And the thing is, if there's something we can do to fix their house that would add extra value, we can decide straight away then. So then, if it's possible for us to be able to fix that thing before the next open, then we'll go and fix it. If we know someone's not, if we get 70 people that came to an open, everyone says the same thing they didn't like about a house, we work out a way we try and fix that. Generally most things can usually get fixed by money. And so if it can be fixed by money, it means we don't necessarily have to actually fix the problem. We just need to know how to fix the problem. And so then everyone that turns up after that, we can give them a solution to what the issue is. Because if 70 people said this is the issue, then we need to know what the answer is to that, because highly likely everyone else is going to think that's the issue as well. So that's the first thing. Spend a whole pile of time, ring everybody back up after the open. And the other reason I'm ringing back is to try and get some offers. I don't care what the offers are. Pretty much everyone I'm talking to, I'm just trying to get them to put in an offer, anything they can. Even if they're the neighbor next door that has no interest in buying the house, I just say, hey, well, you know, I know you're the neighbor next door. I know you don't want to buy the house, but what if the price was different? You know, what if it was 50 grand cheaper? What if it was 100 grand cheaper? What if it was 150 grand cheaper? Would you put in an offer then? You know, because at the end of the day, if you're not getting offers, then nothing's going to happen with trying to sell your house. So, and from then on, I'm just talking to as many people as I can, get as many offers as I can. Once I get one offer in, then obviously I don't have to go to that extreme. Then I'm going to offer, you know, get people to put in offers $100,000 less than what it's worth. If I'm getting offers that are around the asking price anyway, then that's cool. I can just keep chatting to those people. I don't have to get crazy low offers. But if I'm not getting any offers, then I've got to get offers, and I don't care what the asking price is from there, because that's going to start the whole process off. So, fortunately for me, obviously I've got lots of people open. I've spent hours and hours on the phone trying to get people to put in offers, and now it's just over 24 hours after my first open, and I've had about 6 offers so far. So you can see the benefit of having offers is not just obviously they're putting in offers so they want to buy the property, but the benefit of it just creates momentum. And those people that put in offers, even if, you know, they were slightly interested in it, the fact that I can call them back now gives me a reason to call them back, gives me a reason to call back all the other people that came to the open too, just to let them know, hey, I've got plenty of offers now. If you're thinking about putting an offer, now's the time. And the reason why that's really important is because it creates a sense of urgency. Because really, with anybody, when they're making a decision on what they want to do with something, they want to take their time and want to sit back and really scope it all out, and they don't want to be forced into making a rush decision. But whereas the situation where I'm at, now I've got, you know, 6 offers, and to be honest, I'm probably going to get some more offers over tomorrow and over the next couple of days. So when I've got lots and lots of offers, it really it makes people laser focus on, do they really want this house and how much they want it? And if they really want it, they're going to have to fight for it because they know they've got other people they're competing against. And so it puts me in a really powerful position when I'm negotiating on selling a property. Firstly, having them see there's lots of people at the open. So firstly, it's a mindset thing. When they rock up to the open, they know they're going to have to put in an offer which is pretty close to the asking price or more than the asking price. Because when you get that many people to come to an open, straight away they're not going to have to try harder than they otherwise would. And then secondly, when I come back to them saying, hey, I've got other offers, they know I've got other offers because they've seen all the other people there. Whereas the problem is, because real estate agents aren't considered particularly trustworthy, if an agent says to someone they've got other offers, they don't necessarily believe them. But when you come to my open and you know there's been 70 other people there, and I say I've got 6 other offers, then you know I've got 6 other offers because you've seen it with your own eyes. So thanks for the feedback, Andy. Yeah, it is great advice. And the crazy thing is, it's amazing how few agents actually do this. So if you've got an agent that's about to put your property in the market, or if you've got an agent that's got your property in the market now, obviously it's all about the first open. It's all about getting heaps of people to come to your open, and it's all about the offers. So if your agent has had your first open and they haven't got a handful of offers, you need to be jumping up and down and saying, what is going on? Why haven't you got any offers yet? Like, anyone in their right mind would want to buy the property, subject to the price, obviously, but who cares? Who cares what price they're going to put in? At the end of the day, until they put in an offer, then nothing's going to happen. And the cool thing about this is too, even if people are putting in offers which are a bit lower than what you're hoping for, highly likely they're probably going to come back and have another look. And that's one of the other reasons why. And I'll invite you along to my open. I'm going to have another open on Tuesday night as well. The reason I have 2 opens per week is because I want people to come back quite quickly. And because if they put in an offer, they get pretty excited. They're highly likely they're probably going to bring back their partner or their family or their friends to give them a second opinion. They're probably sending out the information to other people saying, hey, check out this house I put an offer in on the weekend. They start to get a bit of buy-in to the property. They start to get a bit more attached to the property than they otherwise would, purely because they put in an offer. And then the key then is to have an open really quickly, so they've got a chance to come back and reinforce their thoughts on the property, and also allow them to get attached to the property so they're not looking at other properties. If you leave the open until another week, until the next weekend, it's too late because they're probably out looking at other properties. So you need them to get motivated really quickly, to come back and have a look really quickly, and then for them to make a really snap decision and do how much they want to fight for this property for. Because if they want it, they're going to have to fight for these other people to get it. And so you can imagine from my perspective, how much easier it makes my job when I've got a lot of people that are really motivated buyers that really want to fight for this property, and they know they have to fight for it, otherwise they're going to miss out on it. So it makes it so much easier when you're out there negotiating, and really it just results in tens of thousands of dollars more in the owner's pocket, because people are going to pay the maximum they're willing to pay. And to be honest with you, there's no hocus pocus about what I do. I'm not really ripping anybody off. All I'm trying to do is I'm not going to get anyone to pay any more than they want to pay. All I'm doing is putting in a position where they're paying the maximum they're willing to pay. And that's my job as a real estate agent. You know, really, I can't force anyone to pay any more than they want, but I can make sure they're going to pay the maximum they're willing to pay. And if that maximum is more than everybody else, then they're going to get the property. If it's not more than everyone else, they're going to miss out. And they have to accept the fact, you know, if they're not going to pay any more, then they have to accept the fact that they're going to miss out on the property, and they just have to accept it. And so hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you can see how it's all going to make a massive difference if you're selling your property, and hopefully you can go back and maybe put the hard word on your real estate agent and make them try a little bit harder. So thanks, guys. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks for all the likes. I really appreciate it. And obviously, if you like what I had to say, put a like in the like box. And obviously, put a comment in the comment box as well. I'd love to get your feedback on whether you think it's a good idea. Obviously, for me, I pretty much do this strategy of selling a property every time I sell a property, and it results in me selling a property within a week or two, and generally I sell my properties between 10 and 20% more than comparable homes in the market. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It just seems to work every single time when I sell a property. But I'd love to get your feedback. Maybe you don't think it's the best way to sell a property, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Put a comment in the comments box. If you've got something else you'd like me to talk about regarding buying, selling, investing, I'd love to hear about it. And like I said, if you know someone's about to put their property on the market, click on the share button, because I'm surely they would appreciate this advice. So thanks, guys. I look forward to catching up with you next time. Bye for now.